Thanks for tuning in, guys. The Pest and Lawn Ginja, and this is my lawn. Man, still just gotta admire all those stripes, looking so pretty. But had a few problems. Had a phantom dog peeing in my lawn, and Ned made it a point that nobody messes with his lawn, so he started peeing in the spots. Scalped a few areas as well, and now I've got some problems with the bushes here where they're getting in the way. So today my focus is we're going to trim these bushes, fix this little sprinkler spot right here, and then I'm going to focus on these dead spots. Now some of these are dog urine spots, like this one right here, and this one right there is a dog spot, but a lot of these are not. They're just scalped areas where I went too low. Now believe it or not, Ginja, man, 1-inch Kentucky bluegrass right here. I'll prove it to you. Man, I gotta say that 1-inch rotary life is feeling pretty good, but just really wish I could get a little bit of a better cut because I can't go lower than this. It's not working out. Well, there's a time in everybody's life where you gotta trim your bush. Let's do it. Sometimes your bush just gets a little out of control and just needs a little trim off the top. And then other times you really gotta hack it down. So it's really important that you have a sharp set of shears and that you determine the level of height that you want, and if there's a particular shape or pattern that you want your bush to be. Don't be afraid to just get in there and get the job done. The bush will grow back, it always does. Meanwhile, in the life of Ned. Ned! Oh, sorry to disturb you. My bad. Now, if you're like the Ginja and you want that nice, elegant, inviting look to your bush, you need to make sure that you follow the edging in front of it, and that'll make it pop. Now, the other thing is you want to make sure that you leave a gap behind the house and the bush so you don't invite the bugs in. Ned, if you're gonna get fresh with my lady, you need to at least talk to me about it first. Did you even take her out on a date? Now, if you're one of those people that got a tall bush, it's important that you take a different approach. You really got to start at the bottom of the base and gently make your way upward. Now, sometimes it'll require some additional assistance to get to those taller regions, and you just take the same approach, smooth it out a little bit. I like nice rounded corners, but I'm going to make it the same height as my house. That way it gives you that extra pop. Gotta say, I didn't do too bad of a job, but sometimes it might be a better idea to hire somebody to trim your bush. All right, Big Ned, now that we got my bush trimmed, what's next? I think it's your spots. That's what's next. One of the biggest issues I have is this little track mark here. It's from scalping my rotary motor, keeping this KBG at 1 inch. It's been a little rough because this whole area is not even. So I'm gonna run to the store real quick and get some soil. I can't take myself anywhere. Go down to the local nursery and buy like 50 things. So I got this nice stash of topsoil, but I also got this nice stash of plants. They had some fig plants, good deals, and I got a blackberry bush. Why? Because I can, and I like blackberries. One of the biggest problems that I'm facing is this concrete lip is not level. And right here it gets pretty bad, but it's not even so much this area that is the bulk majority of my problem. It's the grass in front of it right here has dips and bumps, and I get a lot of you guys asking me out there, how do you take care of this? Well, I'm going to show you. It's pretty simple. Now there's a couple of problems that we're going to solve here. We're going to be solving all the bumps by leveling, but we're also solving a massive problem. The type of grass I have is Kentucky bluegrass, and it forms these shoots that go underground called rhizomes that form new blades, and it thickens up the lawn. Now a lot of these bare spots that I have here, they're not going to shoot new rhizomes because it's 100 degrees out, anywhere between 90 and 100 degrees daily right now, and it's shocking the available roots that are on the surface. So applying a 1/4 inch or less of dirt on top cools that surface tension off and allows the roots to self-repair. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start using my Thatch Rake, and I'm going to scuff it up just a little bit, kind of agitate that thatch layer to promote some new growth. Dragon Slayer. Now the first step of this process is simple. You're going to do a shorter mow than you normally do. I like to get it down to at least 1 inch. The point of this is to make sure that the dirt is able to pass through to get to the soil surface, but while allowing the grass to shoot up and through. The shorter the grass, the more power it has to shoot through the surface. I've got all my piles set out the way that I want them to be. I've been pretty happy with the dirt that I chose so far. I left a complete bag out for little jobs I need to do, but this is the majority of my dysfunction, where it's off by 3 inches in some places. And the dirt, I'm pretty satisfied with it for the most part. It's got a good blend of loam, sand, and topsoil in it. About the only thing that I really don't like is it does have some manure in it, and it's got some chunks of grass and mulch in it, just some wood chips. But having it in a bag was useful for me since I have a car, not a truck. Otherwise it would have gone straight with topsoil. Now it's time to get these piles knocked down. I'm really excited to get this process going on. Now I'm gonna do this in a couple different phases. In this video, we're just phase 1. I've got some of these areas that have a 3-inch difference in height. I can't possibly expect to bridge that gap in one sitting and expect the lawn to live. So I'm gonna go as high as I can. I'm gonna go a full inch in some of these areas, 1/2 inch in others. Whatever the grass is gonna allow us to do is what I'm gonna do. I'm just using a landscape rake. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. I'm not expecting to get it perfect. Now, if you guys are in a situation where you don't have to raise it as much as the Ginja does, just go with sand. It'll make this job a lot easier, and the sand's gonna get through the grass a lot better than this topsoil is. However, it's important to understand that sand doesn't have a nutrient value to it where this topsoil does, and since I need 3 inches in some of these areas, it's a better choice for me. Now I'm just gonna go through, knead it with my hands, and massage it in. I'm gonna use the technique just swirling it around with my bear claw, similar to how I tug on the grass, but I'm just going to massage the grass through in these tough to do areas. Because at the end of the day, the name of the game is just getting the dirt back down to the soil and allowing the grass to poke through. Now, after I get this done, I'm gonna switch back over to using the landscape rake and the leaf rake and just get everything leveled. Now, the leaf rake I use more so to get the chunky stuff off to the top so I could scoop it out with my hands, throw it aside, and leave it for dead. Now it's exciting to see that the majority of the grass is now poking through, which leads me on to the next step of the process. I can go back to that extra bag that I set aside and I can start working on some of the spots that I missed. And that's a very important part, that you buy some additional bags as a just in case. Now these bags cost me about $3.50 each, so it's not a super expensive project. Now, traditionally, I use a shop broom as my final step, and I sweep in all directions. Now, this is going to help level, but it's also going to help push the dirt down and get the chunkier, lighter stuff to the surface, and it kind of exposes some problems that you can pick out with your hands. Now, let's go check out the fruits of our labor and see what's going on. Now, at first glance, I say we've done really, really well. It's important to remember that some of these areas we've raised over 1 inch. Now, getting into the nitty gritty here, you can see that we've got some wood chips that have surfaced, and that was kind of my hesitation on using that topsoil, but it was the only one available. So we're gonna add one more little step here. I'm gonna grab my backpack blower and lightly dust off the top just to see if we can't kind of thin out those wood chips. Now, overall, really happy with the results of this project. I'd say proof is in the pudding, and this cleaned up really, really nice. I'm gonna get the same close-up shot that I showed you before, and you'll be able to tell night and day. I got all those wood chips out, left behind with a nice sandy loam that I ordered, and I think the results are gonna be outstanding. This area is gonna fill in no problem. Safe to say I got phase 1 complete, and I'm really happy about it. I wouldn't say it's perfectly level, but it's a good start. The grass is gonna grow through. Now I'm gonna give this about 2 to 4 weeks to kind of pop through before I do more, and then I'm gonna slowly feed it, and the next time I see it, we'll be doing sand, baby. Get that nice, perfect, level lawn. Now, if you guys have any questions or concerns, please hit me up. Love to help you guys out. Until the next time, guys, this is Ginja. I'm out of here. Bye. If you guys have some tough spots at home, stop watching the Ginja and get on the lawn and go do it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, what up, son? Can I help you out? He's staring me down. What the crap is wrong with him? Hey, go home. This is not your home. You gotta find a new home. Still not your home. Still not your home. Hello.